a set mission, but you can achieve that mission any way you like, and whatever you do will impact the ending. Those are my favorite. And Dishonored delivers you just that. You play as Corvo Attano, who is a legendary bodyguard of the Empress, who returns from a voyage to seek aid for the rat plague that is spread throughout the city of Dunwall. Dunwall's energy supplies comes from whale oil, and with that comes power, corruption, and political machinations. Corvo was sent off to find relief for the rat plague, comes back home, sees the Empress and her daughter. The Empress gets killed, the daughter gets kidnapped, and Corvo gets framed for the murder. Corvo is forced to be an assassin and will seek revenge on anyone who conspires against him. What the fuck, man? Revenge doesn't necessarily have to be served cold in this game. Each mission is designed as a sandbox, which means that you can take whatever approach you like. So if you're a tree-hugging hippie and don't even like the thought of murder, then you don't have to kill a single soul in the entire game. That being said though, this game will be balls deep hard for you, so I hope you love the challenge. If you're like most gamers, then you're going to try to find the most gruesome and creative way to brutally mass murder your enemies. However you choose to play the game will affect the town in the end. If you decide to be stealthy and not kill anybody, then the town won't be too bad. But if you're like me and you just killed everything and left the bodies lying around, well then your town's going to turn to shit. In the beginning of each mission, I would definitely try to be stealthy, but halfway through I pretty much was like, fuck it. And then I'd be running for the door getting my ass kicked. You gain abilities and powers within the game that helps you with each mission. There are 6 active ones and 4 passive ones.
Use this newfound power. My gift to you.
You can teleport short distances, you can use your mask to eavesdrop on conversations just like in Batman. You can mind control an animal, slow down time, or you can control a whole herd of rats just like Willard. You can also see through walls and send a tornado to blast your enemies away. Your powers require mana, and you can also upgrade your powers by collecting secret runes within each mission. You can also use weapons within the game. You don't get many, but you can upgrade each weapon with the blueprints that you find in each mission. So it's more about you actually mastering your tools rather than finding a new best weapon around every corner, which is actually kind of cool. For the weapons, you get a sword, a pistol, a crossbow, and you also get a whole bunch of different things like grenades or spring razors, which are awesome.
I was not permitted to see her face or hear her full name. She called herself Lady Boyle. You see, I painted her from behind. I assure you, she still makes a striking portrait.
Corvo also gets this really badass looking mask that looks like a skull or a mechanic's skull, where you can zero in on people's conversations by listening in, or you can use a little telescope thing to like look deeper into things, etc. It's pretty badass. The graphics and the mechanics in Dishonored are actually pretty good, except for when you're sneaking up on guards. When you're going to grab them, sometimes you'll just block instead, which alerts them and your whole plan goes to shit. It can get very, very annoying. Sometimes when you're talking to characters, they can just kind of move halfway into the wall, or the wall might just be entirely invisible, or sometimes the posters around town are only half loaded.
Hey! Someone kill this crazy witch! I could make you rich!
Quiet now. Granny needs to concentrate.
You also don't pick up items, they just kind of hover in front of you, which I thought was kind of weird when you have only your hands to look at throughout the entire game and they couldn't make it so that you can actually grab items. Okay, well, that's not entirely a breaking point, but that could have been added. The atmosphere and the look of the game is amazingly done and fits the storyline nicely. The voice acting is great, but you would think that since it's a London Victorian style game, that they might actually have some people with English accents. Not necessarily saying that it's, you know, in London, but it would have been kind of nice to have some different accents.
Pendleton is a gutless, lying sack of shit. I hope he's paying you well for this.
The storyline's really good, but it's rather short, and it could have been emphasized a little bit more. That being said, there are also a ton of papers where you can read a shit ton of background stories, so if that's what you're really into, just take the time and read. When I first started playing Dishonored, I thought to myself, wow, this is a lot like Dead Island and BioShock. Mixed together and then had a baby. But then, after a while playing it, you manage to feel like it's actually a game all on its own. I'm gonna give this game a 9 out of 10. It's simply brilliant and amazingly well done, in my opinion, of course. So I highly suggest going and buying it. Thanks for watching my review. Subscribe to my channel, The Nerdy Netty. Like me on Facebook, facebook.com/thenerdynetty. Follow me on Twitter @nerdynetty, and check out my website, thenerdynetty.com.